Here we go again with Moodle 4.0. This is Chris Richter from ricochae.com.au. If you haven't already checked out the courses, check them out down in the description below. That will teach you all sorts of things about the Moodle LMS and how helpful it can be to you. So, we're doing a series at the moment called Did You Know? And as part of that series, I wanted to show you something that you may not have known at all, but you can actually add custom fields to user profiles. You may ask me, why the heck would I need to do that? Well, let's say you have a unique organization ID or some other particular information that you need stored in the learning management system that is related to the students. It may be something to do with the people that employ them if you're teaching students from different organizations. This is a way of being able to add those fields to the user profile, have them available to you to view, and you can use them in your reporting as well and filters and all sorts of things. So it is actually quite useful. So let's jump in and have a look. Obviously, you need to be an administrator to do this. So if you're not a site admin, this part may be very difficult for you or impossible. But let's go. I'm on Moodle 4.0. I'm using the Boost theme, and I'm going straight into site administration, straight into users. And if you scroll down users, you'll find we have one in there called user profile fields. Let's choose that. At the moment, it's empty, so we're going to create a new profile field. All we do is go create a new profile field on the right. We choose what type of field this is or that you want in there. So it could just be a text input. In this case, the field that we might want in there could be organization. It might be that particular person's organization. It asks for a unique short name and a full name. I'm putting both in as the same. The short name, it doesn't tell you there, but the short name isn't allowed to have spaces and odd characters and things. So just keep it really short and compact. And then we have the actual name itself and a description of the field. Is this field required? Leave it as no to start with, but if it is a required field in that you want them to use it, just be aware that if you change that to yes as a required field, the next time every student and teacher logs in, they have to fill in that field before they can go on with using the rest of the platform. So that's what required field will do, but it will at least show up in the required fields list. We'll leave the rest of them. Probably should mention the unique data. Should the data be unique? If it is a user field where it's an ID or some type of number that has to be unique, then obviously you choose unique is yes. Display on sign up is whether when the student first accesses the sign up to register or when you first set them up to register, does this appear in the sign up page? Yes. If you're using sign up pages for students, then make sure you put that in. Who is this field visible to? Everyone or visible to users, teachers, to the user, teachers and admins? It's up to you. Obviously, it's more likely you will probably want to change it to visible to users, teachers and admins, not to everybody, depending on the field. There is obviously an option for a default value, the display size, the character limit. That's how many characters you allow them to have in that field. Now, these settings change depending on the type of field that you've added. We're using a text field. Is this a password field? Do you remember passwords are hidden because a password shows the little stars in there instead. So you can change it to that. And I have no idea what the link and link target is. Transforms the text into a link. Okay, converts it to a URL. That could be useful. If it was your Twitter feed, you could put that in. Yep, okay, that's cool. Read that, it's quite clever. I haven't actually used that yet. And that's all we need to do, save changes. So we now have an organization field in there. If we add one more field just to give you something a little bit different, it could be a checkbox will do. For the checkbox, it could be something like student ID, name, student ID, and the description is, do you have a student ID card? Because you might need to check that they do and get that marked off. Is it required? No. Should the data be unique? No. Display and sign up doesn't matter. Visible just to users and admins. And the category that sits in is other fields at the moment. You can set up categories and put things under those, but let's not worry about that right yet. So we've got those fields in there. So when I go into profile and into my fields, you'll see it says student ID and a tick box there that hasn't been checked. That just means it's not checked, so it's zero value. It's not showing the other one because there's no data in there. So if I choose edit profile and I go down to my profile and into other fields, I can then tick the student ID and I can put in here the organization. In my case, the organization is Ricochae, and update profile. you'll now see I've ticked the student ID box and I'm part of the Ricochae organization. If I go into a course, so example course 1, go into the participants and I go into student 5 to view them, you'll see there it has student ID as well, showing me that it's not ticked. If I go into edit their profile, or the student goes in and edits their profile, which they can do, they'll need to put in the organization that they belong to and obviously tick the box if they do have a student ID. And then update, so I could put my work in there. And now next time when I go back into example course, participants, and view student 5, you'll see they have in there their student ID and their work organization. That's really all there is to adding this information in there, to adding those extra fields. Remember, if you do use the required one, then everyone will need to fill in those boxes next time they log in. So just be aware of that. Hopefully that's been helpful to you. My name is Chris Richter, ricochet.com.au. Check out the links below where I have some courses that will teach you a lot about Moodle, and a lot of this information is included in those courses as well, which is invaluable to you. So I'll talk to you again soon.